Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and warm greetings to everyone present. It's a pleasure to be a part of the International Conference on Cross-Disciplinary Academic Research 2025, and today I am honored to present our research title, Beyond the Classroom, Institutional Stresses Fueling Academic Burnout. And those are my team research. Okay, and this study sheds light on the growing concerns of burnout among academic staff and exploring the hidden stresses within our institution and highlighting the urgent need for systemic reforms. Together, let us reflect on how we can foster a healthier, more sustainable academic environment for all. The background of the study. Burnout is a growing problem among lecturers, especially in higher education. The combination of teaching, research, and administrative responsibilities creates stress and often leaves staff tired, unmotivated, and overwhelmed. At Kolej Poly-Tech MARA, many lecturers report that too much work and unclear job roles add to this pressure. The Jabatan Modal Insan HQ has taken some actions to address this issue, but more needs to be understood. This study looked at the main cause for burnout among KPTM lecturers with the ultimate goal of helping improve staff well-being. As the literature review, according to Lake et al. 2021, burnout is a widespread in academia, mainly caused by the teaching, research, and administrative pressures, which result in stress, exhaustion, and low motivation. Emotional intelligence (EQ) has been shown to help reduce burnout by improving stress management and resilience, as highlighted by Mohammed et al. 2020. And workload, job satisfaction, and gender roles also play a part. Research indicates that women often face more emotional strain due to work-family conflict. It was by Radwan et al. 2022. After all, what is burnout? Burnout was first conceptualized by Rodenberger in 1970s. He described it as a response to long-term work stress where individuals gradually lose energy, motivation, and a sense of accomplishment. According to Maslach's three-dimensional model, burnout has three main signs: emotional exhaustion or feeling drained, depersonalization, which is detachment or cynicism towards work, and low personal achievement, a reduced sense of success or competence. The burnout symptoms directly affect how lecturers feel about their work, their students, and even their own sense of success. Over time, this can reduce motivation, teaching quality, and overall job satisfaction. In this study, we use a quantitative approach with a self-administered question. It was distributed to 731 lecturers across 7 KPTM campuses, and we received 729 valid responses, giving us a very high response rate at 99.7%. And we applied a census method, okay, which is active teaching staff were included. The questionnaire covered demographic, burnout level, and contributing factor. Burnout was measured using a Maslach burnout inventory, and a pilot study was conducted, and it shows strong reliability with a Cronbach alpha of 0.89. Finally, the data was analyzed using SPSS, where we applied descriptive statistics as well as the chi-square test and the t-test to explore the finding. In total, 729 academic staff participated in this study. The average age was 37.5 years, with the largest group being those aged 36 to 45 years, making up just over half of the respondents. In terms of gender, the majority were female, about 77%, while 23% were male. Looking at teaching experience, about one-third had less than 5 years, while another one-third had between 11 to 15 years of experience. For employment status, most staff were on the permanent position, around 69%, and followed by the contract staff at 18% and temporary staff at the 13%. And finally, about 40% of the respondents also held administrative or rotational duties on top of their teaching responsibilities. Our findings show that the burnout among lecturers is mainly reflected in two areas, which is fatigue and apathy. Across campuses, UPTM recorded the highest fatigue score at 3.63, which is above the burnout threshold. Fatigue levels were consistently higher than apathy across all institutions. On the other hand, KPTM Peterborough showed the lowest score for both fatigue and apathy, suggesting better staff well-being there. In terms of insights, apathy level remain moderate, which means lecturers are still committed to their responsibilities. However, fatigue is the bigger concern, especially at UPTM. If not addressed, this high fatigue may negatively affect job performance, absenteeism, and overall morale. Then we look at the burnout across three dimensions. We see some important patterns here. First, under role clarity and job demands. About 28% of lecturers reported burnout, with UPTM the highest at nearly 35%. This shows a need to improve job clarity and balance workload. Second, for self-exhaustion, the overall rate was 27%, with UPTM again the highest at about 31%. And this indicates that emotional and physical fatigue is widespread among staff. And finally, the most common dimensions was work-related exhaustion, where almost 40% overall reported burnout. And at UPTM, nearly half of the lecturers, which is 48%, were affected, showing an urgent need for better workload management and support system. And our analysis also identified the top factors contributing to lecturers' fatigue. The number one cause was audit document preparation, with a mean score of 3.91. This was followed by the trimester study system at 3.75 and the task assigned outside of the official job scope at 3.63. Looking more closely, about 35% of the fatigue factors are administrative in nature. This include committee work, bureaucracy, and paperwork. Such tasks add significantly to stress and reduce motivation. This highlights the need for institutions to streamline processes and reduce unnecessary admin tasks to ease the workload on the academic staff. Then we asked staff about burnout factors. The response were very clear, with 78% said audit document preparation was their biggest source of stress. 75% pointed to the trimester system, and more than 60% agreed that all 16 identified factors contribute to the burnout. Among these administrative tasks, job mismatch and complex forms stood out as the top issue. In terms of the effect of the burnout, about 65% of lecturers cited workload as the main cause, while 58% felt overwhelmed by the administrative duties. Nearly half, 47%, felt unsupported by the institution, and 42% reported emotional detachment and depersonalization. Finally, 35% said they feel unrecognized and demotivated, which directly impact morale and commitment. Our study shows that burnout among academic staff is both serious and widespread, and the main drivers are administrative overload, non-teaching tasks, and excessive workload. Because of this pressure, many lecturers experience emotional exhaustion, detachment, and a reduced sense of accomplishment. If left unaddressed, these conditions are unsustainable and may negatively affect both teaching quality and staff retention. Overall, the findings highlight the pressing need for institutions to review and restructure academic work so that staff are better supported and able to thrive in their roles. To address this challenge, we propose several key actions. First, institutions need to streamline administrative work by digitizing routine tasks and assigning dedicated admin support so lecturers can focus more on teaching and research. Second, it's important to clarify job scope, roles, and responsibilities should be clearly defined, and any extra tasks must be distributed fairly and reflected in evaluation. Third, policies must promote work-life balance. This means setting reasonable working hours, encouraging self-care, and supporting professional growth without adding more pressure. Fourth, institutions should actively support mental health, offering stress management workshop, counseling service, and regular feedback session to check in on the staff well-being. And finally, staff should be involved in decision making. Transparent and inclusive policies will make lecturers feel valued and more motivated to contribute. We would like to express our sincere thanks to Kolej Poly-Tech MARA for initiating this research and taking action on its finding. Among the important steps taken were the introduction of flexible working hours and the reduction of excessive academic documentation for audit purposes. Our gratitude also goes to University Polytech Malaysia for supporting this study through the University Research Grant. Thank you for your kind attention and support. Together, let us continue creating a healthier and more sustainable academic environment. Remember, burn bright, not out. Thank you.